Hey everybody, Audiophile Barista here. So this is the Nakamichi CR-3E. Now I picked this up a few days ago, obviously on the second-hand market, and this was such a great deal, I just had to share it with you. Now I have a full working week, so basically I have no time to make a video like this, but I'm making this video because I just had to share this with you. So this cassette deck, I paid the normal price that you pay on the second-hand market for it, but it came with a bunch of extras and some other things, and I just had to share that with you. Now these decks are pretty old. They were made from 1988 till 1990, so this thing is about at least 35 years old. And why did I pick it up? Well, I am playing cassettes, so that's why I wanted it. But let me tell you a little bit about why this was such a big deal. Not in terms of I paid a little money for a great deal. No, regular price, but then it started. It came with a manual. Nothing too special. This is just a copy of the original, but it came with a manual. Then it came with some brochures from the time. Now this is not original also, this is just a copy, but this guy that I bought it from printed it out on heavy duty photocopy paper, and this looks just amazing and it gives me a lot of information. It came with even more information, also another photocopy, and over here you can see that this deck was made from 88 until 1990. So very happy with that. But of course that is not all. These are standard things that people who take care of their equipment and then resell it, you can show by these kind of things that they actually cared about their deck, their equipment. So I was already very happy with this. But then there was also something very special, and that is this. Now this is a magazine from 1988, so exactly the time that this thing was made. This is a German audio magazine. It's called Audio. I read a lot of these German magazines at the time, and this one is special because the Nakamichi CR-3 just came out, and this is the original review at the time when this deck came out. It is in German, but my German is just fine. So this is just amazing to have the original, not a copy, but the original review of this wonderful deck. But that's not all. If we turn this thing around, over here you can of course see the connectors going in, going out. That's what you need to connect this deck to your preamp, and if you want to record on it you need a source. So 2 sets of interconnects are needed for this. So here's the thing. This is also what I got with this deck. This is an original Kimber cable, PBG, peanut butter and jelly, with the original connectors from Kimber cable. This is a classic. This was brought out just a year later than these decks were made, and you can still buy them maybe for some 120 euros, $120, something like that. On the second-hand market this thing will do maybe 60 bucks. But as I just showed you, you need 2 sets of interconnects. So this is the original PBG with the original connectors from Kimber cable. But he gave me a second set of this same cable, but you could buy a upgraded cable with these WBT connectors. So that is what I got, and this also came with the original advertisement information sheet talking about the PBG, the classic. I believe it's called the Classic now that it is still on the market. It was originally called the PBG, but correct me if I'm wrong. And you can see here that they had the different connectors, and I've both, so I can connect my cassette deck with these. Now I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I got these with it. But that's not all. It also came with this. This is an original, completely sealed 5-pack of TDK SA90 cassettes. And this deck, which has been maintained by the best guy to have it maintained in the Netherlands. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But he has been calibrating this deck for recording to this type of cassette, the TDK SA90. Now he gave me this with the deck, with the 2 sets of interconnects, and if you look on the second-hand market now, because these are not being made anymore for maybe 10-15 years, something like that, and if you want to buy a unopened set today, it'll set you back maybe 70 bucks. So that is already going up to 200 bucks. And I only paid 400 for the whole deck. But that's not all. And I guess because it was a very nice conversation that I had with the previous owner, very nice guy, very well maintaining and taking care of his equipment that you could see in his living room. And I think because we had a nice conversation and he liked the fact that the deck was going to me, so he put in another extra, which was one still sealed SA100 cassette. So these maybe do 12 bucks on the second-hand market. So over here we have almost some 200, while I paid 400. But that's not all, because you may be thinking, well, 400 may not even be that interesting for a deck like this. But you know, you can buy these maybe for 200, 350, sure. But most of the time they've been in the attic for the last 20 years. Nobody knows if it's playing. And if you pay money for a deck that is 37 years old, you want to make sure that it has been maintained well. And this one, so over here you can see these are stickers from the person that maintained this deck for the last 5 years. And this guy is one of the best in the Netherlands to have your deck maintained by. So I just know this deck is in absolute amazing state. You see over here you have a sticker from when this thing was brought out new. Transtech was the company in the Netherlands at that time where you bought your quad equipment or your Nakamichi equipment, those specialized pieces of equipment. This was the company that brought them onto the market and repaired them, and if you wanted to maintain these things, you went there. Now, they have been off the market for a very long time now, and this guy was an employee over here and started for himself because, of course, there were a lot of people that had these decks and wanted them to be maintained by the best in the business. So that is what I have, and that is why I know this for 400 bucks was an amazing deal. So to recap, I got all this wonderful information. I even got some information on the 2 pairs of interconnect that I got with the deck. I got the 5-pack original new old stock plus a 6th one from TDK. These are type 2 cassettes, and this deck has been calibrated for recording on exactly this type of cassette from TDK. Now obviously I have been putting this deck into the system. I connected it directly to the Audion 300B amplifier and played a few nights through my Ocelias. And you know what? This thing sounds amazing. This thing is calibrated and all the parameters are just perfect at the moment, and it sounds absolutely like a dream. Now next week I will be making more videos about this deck and I will give you some sound samples. But for now I just had to share with you what I just picked up, and I am extremely happy with picking up this CD3E. By the way, the E, I tried to look it up, and the E stands for Europe. So you can buy the CR-3A in America and you can buy the CR-3 in Japan, because that is the market where they came from. So this was the video that I wanted to make. Thank you for watching. Next week there will be more, but for now I say thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.